1 year has passed since the announcement made about reestablishing relations with Cuba and the U.S. Since then, there have been important advancements in different aspects, such as commercial flights, which will aid economic relations between the two countries. Our correspondent from the U.S. Now, Bianca Perez, reports.
An agreement was announced Thursday between Cuba and U.S. officials to restore scheduled commercial airline service for the first time in over 50 years. This deal would allow 110 round-trip flights a day between the neighbor nations.
We did reach bilateral agreement to establish scheduled air services between the two countries. It's going to continue to allow charter operations, which exist now, and establish some scheduled air service, which will help facilitate an increase in authorized travel.
Though travel is still prohibited for tourists, those who meet at least one of the 12 criteria, such as being Cuban American or taking part in educational tours, and are able to make the trip, are relieved that this will bring down the high costs.
Not only will make it easier for us to make the trip, it'll be more cost effective for us to make the trip. And that's been huge in order to get people to experience something that they didn't know about. And so it was cost prohibitive, to be honest. And that's from our side in the United States, so can't even imagine.
Experts claim that although progress has been made in the last year with the reopening of embassies in both countries, there are still many obstacles, such as the return of the naval base in Guantanamo, the removal of the Elms-Burton law, and the lift of the economic blockade.
What we've seen is it's inconsistent with U.S. values, with what American citizens want, with what our own government wants. It's just the remnants of a bad, failed policy. And so the goal will be next year to finally remove that from the equation and lift the embargo fully.
Citizens are excited that this flight agreement could be a first step in a new era of relations between the two countries in which they would be able to experience Cuban culture.
I'm hoping that the next step will be that the American population can travel there before it becomes, before it changes. I'd like to see old Havana, the way it was, all the old cars and just the culture.
There will likely be a 60 to 90-day process in which U.S.-based carriers will submit proposed routes. Scheduled flights will not begin until the first few months of 2016. Bianca Perez, Telesur, Washington, D.C.